All right, folks, welcome back to another video on the Living in Halifax channel. Today we're doing a neighborhood tour of Eastern Passage. Right now we're kind of in the, I guess, more touristy part, right on the water. But yeah, today we're going to be going over housing, things to do, proximity to the city of Halifax, as well as amenities. Other than that, we'll get right to it. Be sure to like and subscribe. We come up with videos like this every single week on living in Halifax, neighborhoods, houses, pros and cons of living in Halifax. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, then please subscribe. And if you're thinking about making a move to Halifax, then feel free to reach out. All right, let's hop to the video. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the area. Now, I'm out front of Island View High School, which in my opinion is one of the newer high schools that has one of the nicest views I have ever seen. Unfortunately, it's super foggy today, so we'll see if we can throw a picture up of that view. But essentially, Eastern Passage for a long time was kind of a blue-collar fishing neighborhood. And over the past couple of years, since COVID, as more people have moved to the province, you've seen a bit more of a mix of people who are ending up in this neighborhood. The property prices have been coming up, but you've got a mix of kind of families, people who have been here for generations, and you've also got a pretty significant military footprint here from people that will work at Shearwater Air Force Base down the way, or even the dockyards of the Navy base in town. So overall, you've got a pretty good mix of people out here. Again, this is a neighborhood that's really only 25-30 minutes from the city, but if it's going to be on your list, it's worth coming out here and checking it out. All right, so let's talk about some of the amenities and things to do in and around Eastern Passage. So right now I'm kind of in the main, I guess, strip mall area for your kind of everyday needs that would service this entire community. You know, you got a liquor store, gas station, Subway, Dollarama there, and then a small grocery store here. Now, where I started the video off is called Fisherman's Cove, and this area kind of opens up in the summer primarily. But you know, they got some restaurants there, some kind of touristy shops, things like that. When it comes to kind of larger scale shopping, about 5 minutes kind of back towards Dartmouth, you've got the Woodside Industrial Park. I've got some B-roll there I can kind of overlay, but you've got a larger Sobeys right up around the corner from there, and then a bunch of other shops as well in that area, as well as the ferry terminal, which I'll talk about soon. But that's only really about 5-10 minutes. Alternatively, you can go right into Dartmouth. That's going to be about a 10-15 minute drive, or Halifax, downtown Halifax is again maybe a 20, 30, 35 minute drive depending on traffic. When it comes to parks, you've actually got some unique parks here. So you've got McCormick's Beach right down by Fisherman's Cove. This is a cool little boardwalk area that's got some great fishing. Honestly, it's always packed with fishing. There's a beach there, obviously. You've got the Eastern Passage kind of commons, which is a lot of park space, baseball diamonds. That's located where the high school is and where the elementary school is. So those are kind of two options for you there. And then obviously there's a decent boating community here. A lot of it tends to revolve around the fishing and whatnot, but you're really close to the head of the harbor here, so boating would be an option. And then finally, you've actually got the Heartland Point Military Golf Club. Now, I'm 90% sure that anybody can kind of pay to play there, but it's literally a part of the neighborhood, so definitely worth checking out as well. So here's the Woodside Ferry Terminal. You can actually see the ferry kind of in the foreground there. Basically, there's a large parking lot here where you can kind of commute to, and the ferry will kind of land right here in downtown. I'd say this is about a 5 to 10 minute drive back to Eastern Passage down that way. Okay, so here's where you would kind of consider the Woodside Industrial Park, about 5-10 minutes away. It's also where the Woodside Ferry Terminal is. So here you've got, obviously on this side, you know, McDonald's, Value Village, a Tim Hortons, a couple little shops there. And then on the other side, you've got the Pilot's Pub, which has been around for a while, a Crave Burger there, another burger spot, gas station, and a couple of small shops here at the strip mall. Again, this is about 5, maybe 10 minutes down the road that way, or Eastern Passage is down the road that way. And then if you're going to Dartmouth, you're going this way. All right, so let's talk about kind of the housing situation here in Eastern Passage. Now, it's got a pretty wide span of options when you're looking out here. Obviously, I'm in kind of more of a new build type area. This is just a little cul-de-sac, but you do have some newer homes out here. You've also got some homes that are kind of like 20, 25 years old. And then you've got some homes that are even a little bit older than that. You're not going to find the same age that you'd find on the peninsula, but there's certain areas that you'll find when you drive through the Eastern Passage just feel a little bit more run down or a little bit more lived in. Alternatively, when you're looking kind of in different parts of Eastern Passage, you can kind of follow the road along in between where the turnoff is to Cow Bay Road and Heartland Point, the golf club. And you're going to find some houses along there that have these beautiful views over to Lawler Island and McNabb's Island, kind of the other side of the harbor. When we're looking at price points here, it varies obviously depending on when you're looking for, but our average kind of hovers in between 450,000 and 500,000. So it'll just depend on what kind of house you're looking for, how new, what kind of work needs to be done, what kind of view there is, and all that other good stuff. All right, so let's talk about transportation, commuting, all that good stuff from Eastern Passage. So I'm kind of at the corner of Cow Bay and Caldwell Road right here. This is one of the areas that the buses will come to. There's kind of two bus lines that just loop through Eastern Passage. So depending on where you're living, you should be able to walk there. Those buses will take you kind of into downtown Dartmouth, so you can get around from there. Another unique option would be to drive or take the bus to the Woodside Ferry Terminal and then take the ferry into Halifax, into downtown Halifax. I got some B-roll of that earlier we'll throw up here. Finally, you can drive, right? This is a little bit probably too far for most people to bike into downtown Halifax. The drive to Halifax with no traffic downtown, I would say, is about 25, maybe 30 minutes. Dartmouth's a little bit closer, and with traffic, obviously, you're going to have to adjust for that. So overall, even though it is really a half-hour drive to downtown with no traffic, it is still on the higher end of the commute for Halifax. So that's kind of just something to keep in mind. You're probably going to want to have a car out here. And if you decide not to drive yourself to work every day, then there's a few different options in terms of how you can get into town. All right, folks, we're finishing up this video in front of the local Tim Hortons here in Eastern Passage. Probably one of the busiest ones in the province. Once again, I'm Tom Moore, and we specialize here at Living in Halifax with helping folks like you who are thinking about making a move into Halifax, outside of the city, outside of the province, or outside of the country. And obviously for our sellers, we do a ton of video content. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, you can feel free to reach out to me. My contact is in the description below, and there should be a meeting link down there as well if you're looking for a video meeting. Other than that, have a great day. We'll see you in the next video.